Okay, we're now at 5:34, so let's go ahead and get started. As far as I know, the people who were going to be here have shown up. Excused today is Laura Henderson, our secretary, because she's having a plumbing emergency at one of her buildings. Also, Daisy is excused because she's on spring break this week. And I'm thinking it's doubtful that we may see Bailey or Angela, our other students, for the same reason because of spring break. Tristan, I want to thank you for being here with us today, even though I know you're on spring break also. So thank you for that. I'm going to do the roll call very quickly since we don't have a secretary. Okay, Nancy Moldenhauer here. Andy Jans Davis. Here, okay.
Here.
Tim Bauer.
Here.
Daisy excused, Laura excused, Bailey Chivas. Faye Moore.
Here.
Thank you, Faye. Tristan Bogart.
Here.
Thank you. Angela Reynolds. Not here. Okay. And then we have guests of Dahlia Zigas and Paul N. And I'm going to guess it's somebody from Access LaPorte County. It may be Mike Dempsey or it may not be, depending on who's helping us out today. So thank you all very much for being here. And, oh, Philip.
Yep, I'm here too.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Oh, Philip. Okay, there you are. Clarence Holtz is not here. And Bryant Dabney is not here also. And he's our city council liaison. And Dahlia indicated he wasn't able to be here. And hopefully we'll get him here sooner than later. Okay, thank you all very much. We have a quorum, which means we can go ahead with our business as stated. And Laura will be able to do the minutes for us later because this is being recorded. So that's just a reminder for everybody that we are being recorded. Let me see. First order of business is the approval of the minutes from March 16th, 2021. Would somebody make a motion to accept those minutes, please? Okay.
Motion.
Andy, thank you for making the motion. Who will second that? Tim, thank you for seconding that. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, is anybody opposed? Okay, those minutes pass unanimously. Thank you. Okay, our next order of business is to welcome our new city liaison from the city council, Bryant Dabney. We will table that until next meeting. I want to next recognize Dominique Edwards' contributions to sustainability for the whole time that she's been on the commission. And she started out with us with an interest in community gardens and certainly moved into other areas. She was one of the first people that began to tackle the question of our municipal fleet, what kinds of vehicles we had in service, was looking at the future as far as being able to convert more of those to efficient energies. And at this point in time, she will no longer be with us. So we do have an open position here. So if any of the commissioners have any recommendations of people you think that would be great to join our team, who are forward thinking, are hardworking, and want to see us make a difference, then please send those to me and also our secretary, Laura. Okay, Laura Henderson. Okay, the other thing is congratulations to Andy. She was reappointed by the Michigan City Council on Tuesday evening. And I am so overjoyed by that. Yeah, let's give Andy a round of applause.
Thank
because I don't know what we would do without you, actually. So I'm so glad. And Dahlia, thank you for your support and giving her an affirmative vote in her reappointment. Okay, we have a really full agenda today. Hopefully, Latanya Troutman will be coming on at some point. And if we don't get through the whole agenda within an hour, then we will stop where we are, and the items that are not covered will be placed on the agenda for next month. Okay, because we always do our meetings within an hour, and it's important for us to be respectful of all of the people from ALCO that provide us with recording services. Okay, let's move into our project teams. I'm sorry. Tim Bauer was also reappointed by our mayor this week too.
Congratulations.
So Tim will be with us for 2 more years, actually. So thank you, Tim, for accepting the mayor's reappointment to our commission. And I don't know what we do without you either. So thank you. Okay, project teams. Caught you being green, and look at Andy's wearing a green shirt today. How appropriate is that? So, Andy, take it away.
I do almost always have a tree hugger shirt on. I live in these. So it says Earth Day every day. And green is actually my favorite color. There we go. Twinsies. Yeah, Earth Day shirts. So I purposefully did this today, I will admit, but most days it's this or tie-dye or both. But anyway, so caught you being green. Tristan, your feature will be up in a couple of days. Of course, I had to adjust a couple of things because timing was off. But I got the okay from Nancy, so I'll get that up for the weekend. So that'll be good. And then you'll run for Earth Month and at least for a month before I put another one out. And then I have to talk to Daisy. She's not here, so I'll have to send that reminder. And then mini features. I just was at Meijer the other day, so I noticed they had a new plastic bag recycling, and it lists the type of plastic that they'll take, which is nice because they take bread bags and other stretchy plastic, the stuff that you wrap your water bottles in, your toilet paper, all that's the same sort of plastic. So that's listed on there. That'll be probably my next little mini feature shout out. And then when Tim gets me some pics, I want to do a couple little minis on him, putting the garbage in there. So we've got a lot going on, so no rush or anything. And then the big thing for Caught You Being Green is the Earth Month event is Caught You Being Green. For anyone who wants to participate, I did post the event on Facebook. It's not running yet, but the event's posted so people can see the details. All the details are on there. As far as I'm aware, if you guys read it and I've missed something, please let me know. I can just edit it. The prizes are up there. It is a minimum of $175 for first place, $150 for second, and or $100 for second and $50 for third. I'm still getting some donations, and I don't yet have a couple in hand. So I don't want to say exactly who just yet. As soon as I have them all in hand, I'll go ahead and say, and I'll post little teasers on Facebook. You might not know the exact amount of a gift certificate or something like that, but you'll know who. Or I don't know if somebody has a fun riddle or something for me. I'm not so clever to do that sort of thing. So that might be fun because there's some local stuff. It seems like there's some interest though. There's after just a day or two, several people had posted that they were interested. So I think that'll be fun. I can't obviously participate, but this is something I would want to participate in. The prizes are really, really going to be great. Even if you're not a tree hugger, you're going to love them all. So everybody, please enjoy, have fun. It's free. Take some pictures, post them, and then as long as you can pick it up in Michigan City somewhere, you'll be the winner, and us commissioners will vote, and that's pretty much it, I think, on that one. Anything else, Nancy, that I'm forgetting?
I just want people to be clear, those are not cash prizes. Those are actually gift certificates to businesses in Michigan City. I know
And some
sometimes,
products as well.
yeah. And sometimes when people hear dollar amounts, they think they're going to get cash. So I don't want anybody disappointed regarding that. But I know already what some of the prizes are, and they are totally awesome. And I am so bummed that my household is not able to participate. So, Andy, are you going to give directions as far as how people can post their pictures and where they should be doing that on Facebook?
Yeah, it's on the event. When you click on the event on the About section, all of the details are on there. It says post 4 to 5 pictures or 1-minute videos and up to 5-sentence description about how you celebrate Earth Day. And then I posted that we would be the ones to look at it. And I also, I explained to post it on the event and not on the page. Not many people can post on our Facebook page anyway. So I'm sure we'll get a private message if somebody tries to post and they're unable to, and then I'll redirect them to the event page. But it definitely will have to be posted on the event page for us to have it part of the event.
Okay, and if I'm remembering correctly, there's a little tab that says discussion. So that's where the people go to click on that and then post in the discussion part of the event. Yes. Okay, great. Okay, awesome. Okay, Andy, wonderful job.
Thank you.
I am so thrilled that you've pulled in so many local businesses to be a part of Earth Month. And I just think it's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope people get really creative and, find some things to do and to take pictures or a short video of that. It's wonderful. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. I hope people have as much fun doing it as I am putting it together.
Yeah. Okay, the next project team is the Indiana University Resilience Cohort for Soul Smart designation. And Laura has been our lead on that, and she's not here today, so we won't have a detailed account of what's going on with that. But I can tell you that right now we're in process of seeking the person from the inspection department who's going to be joining our project team and be a liaison with the department. Because the one thing we want to be sure of is that what we're considering doing and putting into place, that it's going to work well for them and the policy and procedures they already have in place. And what we're doing is we're just trying to make it super easy for anybody to look into what it takes to get solar, what they need to do as far as applying for the inspection process. And then hopefully we're going to set up some sort of a timeline so that people know what to expect when they're getting solar for their homes or businesses in our community. And Laura wants to go for bronze designation, and I say, hey, let's go for silver if we can make it. And it all depends on how many points we're able to collect. Okay, next item on our agenda, project team, is the new Sustainability Commission Annual Award. And this whole concept was Tristan's idea. So I'm going to hand it off to Tristan to tell us what this is.
Okay. So, as what Nancy mentioned, I came up with the idea. I brought this up to her back in December, I believe. And we're just now getting into it since it fits an earthly type of vibe. And so basically what we're going to be doing is it will be an annual award that whoever is helping Michigan City be cleaner in a major way, they'll be recognized for their efforts. I know prize wise, I'm thinking what Andy's going to do. I'm going to try to seek some sponsors. Okay. I know that's something I was interested in doing, so I'll probably go about that, see what I can go on that front, and then maybe we can just do from us, we can do a certificate, the kind you would get if you get honor roll or something.
Okay. Tristan, did you want to go into detail about the idea we have as far as naming this award and who it's in tribute to?
Yes, this is a I would say like a award in memorandum of, I think her name was Nora, I believe, right?
Yeah, Nora L. Schultz.
Yeah, her from what I read and what Nancy told me was that she was a big contributor to helping Michigan City stay clean. She would, bring at least 200 bags of trash. She was recognized by the LaPorte County Recycling. I'm not sure like the full name of it, but I know they recognized her for her efforts. Many other businesses. I think I heard something about city council recognizing her for her efforts. I'm not too sure. And then also like many businesses around the area.
Okay, and if I could just add a little bit to that, Nora was the person that many people saw around the Meyer complex there, that outer road area where businesses were at. And she was out there like religiously every week, cleaning up out there. So Tristan and I were thinking that this would be really a significant and important person to recognize from this point forward as a major contributor to our community, as far as not only cleanup, but also green goes. So this is open for discussion right now. If people, have thoughts about this, what do you think? Andy?
I love the idea. Ms. Schultz was just an amazing lady. If you notice that area behind Meyer, it is kind of iffy right now again, right? We notice time without her, but she'd just be out there all by herself and for hours, and then it would be beautiful. And she was an amazing lady, and she'll be missed. And I think this is a wonderful idea to honor her memory.
Other people? Thoughts? Comments? Okay. I also heard that she was just an extremely kind and supportive and caring person also. People that knew her as a friend. So I think it's great when you have a combination of the servant leader along with somebody that's also a supportive and caring person. So I think that it's totally appropriate for us to name our award after her, and then to award it every April during Earth Month is what we would do every year from this point forward. Okay, so we're going to need. Are there any further comments? I want to be sure everybody has something to say. Would want to say that. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead. I need a motion, first of all, to establish this annual award called the Nora L. Schultz Tribute Sustainability Award. Do I have a motion for that? Andy? Thank you for making the motion. Do I have somebody that will second that?
I second the motion.
Faye, thank you for seconding that. All in favor, say aye.
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 Bye.
Okay, anybody disapprove, say nay. Okay, it passes unanimously. Thank you very much. Okay, part two, Tristan, who have you nominated for this year to receive this award?
Michael Kilborn and Nora Reiska.
And why have you nominated them?
I nominated them because they're the great leaders in helping Michigan State go greener. in terms of their efforts, citizen-wise, like creating a Facebook group called the Great Michigan City Green Clean, and then like they're at the beginning, their idea was to do this until St. Patrick's Day, but it exploded and turned into everything. Residents are noticing, everybody's noticing, and I think it's a great pick because its leadership. I think it resembles what Nora would like to see in terms of who we named this after. I think if she was here, she would agree with us that this is a fantastic pick and they are role models for what this award is.
Great. Thank you, Tristan. Very well stated and very well presented also. Okay, would somebody like to make a motion that Nora Riska and Mike Kilborn with their efforts for the Great Michigan City Green Clean efforts, that they be our first recipients of the award?
Motion, and I also very much appreciate what they've been doing.
Okay, thank you, Tim, for making the motion. Who will second that motion?
Second the motion.
Philip, thank you for seconding the motion. And all in favor, signify aye.
Aye.
Okay, and that passes unanimously also. Thank you all very much. I think this is newsworthy. So Andy, would you be willing to work with me to get a press release ready to be sent out on this? Or if somebody else would like to work on a press release. Anybody else? Okay, great, Andy. Thank you very much. Okay, so our next item is the Soul Power Project. And Latanya, also known as Nikki Troutman, has joined us, and she'll show up in your screen as NAACP LaPorte County Branch 3061. Hi, Nikki. How are you?
Merry Christmas, Nancy. How are you? Hello, everybody. Merry Christmas.
And Happy New Year, Nikki.
Yay.
Yay. Nikki and I have had the pleasure of working on at least a couple other projects, if not more, up until this point in time. And Nikki approached me with an opportunity through the NAACP, and it's called Soul Power Project. And I'm not going to talk about that anymore because she does have a presentation to make. When she's done, you can ask questions. We can have a discussion. And then there's been an invitation for the Sustainability Commission to actually join up in partnership with the NAACP as supporters and promoters for this particular project. So just so you're clear of what our steps are for this evening. Okay, I am going to, what am I going to have to do? Okay. Screen share? No, you don't want screen share, do you?
If you
Yes.
want to do screen share, I can do it. I will just kind of pull up my notes elsewhere, but I'm sure we can save that for any questions. But yeah, I can do it.
Nikki, please, I'm going to give you screen
Okay.
share because
That's
if I
fine.
don't, I know it's going to get like really messed up bad
Okay.
because I can't even find your presentation anymore.
That is totally fine. So I will get myself together.
I'm sorry.
No worries, no worries. So with that, Merry Christmas, everybody. How is everybody? I am a very interactive person. And if I share my screen, I probably can't see you all, just like now trying to look for my presentation.
Okay,
here I am.
so Nikki, just concentrate on presenting, and then we'll
Oh, you
get
got it.
we'll get your slides down, and then you can talk with everybody. Okay, how does that sound?
Absolutely. Sounds great. So,
Okay.
again, Merry Christmas, everyone. I want to introduce to you our NAACP LaPorte County branch, well, Northwest Indiana outreach on the Soul Power Project. And this project, obviously, is all about building solar power with soul power. So this is a brainchild of mine. I've been working on this for about a year, and I have inherited some wonderful partnership, and it has come about in a great time. So I just want to be able to introduce it to the Sustainability Commission, and I thank you all for giving me the opportunity to present. So without further ado, I'm going to go into our table of contents so you know what we're going to talk about today. So next slide, Nancy.
I can't do that.
You can't?
I don't think so. Can
It
I?
says I'm viewing Nancy's screen because this is not mine.
Oh,
To the right.
okay.
So if you just tap the arrow on if you have a keyboard, you can just
It's
tap
on
the
the
arrow.
right. It's on the right, isn't it?
Yeah,
Okay, I need to move everybody.
there you
down.
go. Awesome.
Whoops,
You went back.
I went
go
too
back.
far.
Yeah.
Is that good?
Okay, you're good. Awesome. So this is just really quickly our agenda for this little brief 10 minutes. I'm going to try to make it really short because I think you guys are awesome as a Sustainability Commission, so you get it. But I want to make sure that it's clear for our viewers as well. So we're going to talk a little bit about the NAACP because that's who I represent. A little bit about the current situation within Michigan City and how that's impacted our community. A little bit about the project itself and how we're going to use this project to educate, train, and build this soul power. Then talk about how you guys can connect with us, and then if there's any questions or comments. Does that sound good to everybody? Awesome. Next slide, Nancy. Okay, so the NAACP was founded in 1909 in response to the ongoing violence against Black people around the country. It is the largest and most preeminent civil rights organization in the nation. We have over 2,200 units and branches, as well as I think it's now like at 2.2 million activists as well. Our mission is to secure the political, educational, social, and economic equality of rights in order to eliminate a race-based discrimination and ensure that the health and well-being of all persons are kind of kept at a good state. So I want to, if you can go back, Nancy, really quickly. So I want to point out and always give praises to our Indiana State Conference President, President Barbara Bowling, who has really been working with me to launch this program. That is the young lady in the kind of yellow strip there, as well as our branch president, President Wesley Scully, who has been the branch president for about a decade here. So kudos to him, and I'm happy to serve under his leadership. So thank you. And then the next slide. So the NAACP has many areas in which we advocate for, and that includes criminal justice, health, there is education, as well as economics, which we'll get to in a short second. But the ECJ, Environmental Climate Justice, is kind of fairly new, but I really want to be able to highlight, because I am the Environmental Climate Justice Chair again for the LaPorte County branch, what it is that we are setting out to do. So the first thing is to reduce harmful emissions, and particular greenhouse gases, and that includes us helping to shut down coal plants and other toxic facilities at a local level. So I know you guys have heard a lot of talk about NIPSCO and that retirement in 2028, and also, but just also talking about what does that look like with the steel mills? How is that impacting our communities as well? So also advancing energy efficiency and clean energy, and that is making sure that we can pass renewable energy and energy efficiency standards and set them at a higher rate, especially within Northwest Indiana, understanding this legacy contamination. And the third thing we want to be able to do is to strengthen community and community resilience and livability, ensuring that the communities are equipped to engage in sustainable climate action planning. And that requires us coming together as communities like we're doing now with the Sustainability Commission. So next slide, Nancy. The next section I want to really highlight is the NAACP economic program. Their goals is to empower local communities, giving them the necessary education, resources, and partnerships to develop sustainable economic models that advance diversity and equity. Being able to bridge economic inequalities by ensuring that government and industry are knowledgeable and committed to bridging racial inequality, particularly as it relates to employment, wealth, lending, and business ownership. And also being able to grow a movement, because it doesn't just stop with one person or in one city, right? So being able to grow a movement of concerned citizens and organizations who are work together to produce an inclusive and strong middle-class economy for the 21st century. And that is going to look very diverse. And that's going to include all of our individuals being able to kind of being on a equitable playing level. So the economic program as well as the environmental program, but all of them, right, are inclusive within the environmental impact and what we see that's happening locally within our communities. But I really wanted to highlight these two programs as it will relate to the Soul Power program. So next slide, Nancy. And this is a quote from the NAACP, Our Community, Our Power. It says, coupled with earth and ecosystem, a community's livelihoods, cultures, languages, religions, food, and traditions create a life force that is unique and powerful. And so what does that say for our community, right? What does our community livelihoods look like? What does our community cultures look like, right? What is our community language? What is our community religion? And when you really start to dissect that, that's where you understand where this current situation is and kind of how we need to make sure that we're building sustainability and resiliency. So I just wanted to highlight that, and I will drop that Our Community, Our Power document or the PDF in a chat. It is a really great tool to help build the community and kind of going forward and transitioning out of this kind of economy that we're in now. So next slide, Nancy. So again, you heard me talk about the current situation as it pertains to kind of this Northwest Indiana area. And we believe in being transparent. So in 2018, for those who don't know, NIPSCO announced its plans to retire their coal plants by 2028, with Michigan City kind of being on that back end, being at 2028. But that plan could change. It just depends on those IRP meetings that happen biannually within that process and what they deem the most viable option. So as a result, though, Northwest Indiana region is on the verge of a much larger energy transition, right? And there's no real concrete plan in place for us to prepare to address the impacts. We're just kind of leaving it as it is at the hands of the utility companies and all of those kind of big power wigs to tell us what's going to happen. And we need to try to take control of the narrative so that we can decipher what's coming down the pipeline, what's happening within our communities, right? What we saw is, and the NAACP's Films Across the Fence Line highlights this, is when we have coal plants in our backyards, we didn't ask for the coal plants to be there, right? Their legacy has been there over this time. So we don't want the same thing to happen. We want to make sure this is an inclusive process and we make sure that there's a concrete plan that everybody can make sure we're on one resilient and sustainable we're building this resilient and sustainable community for future generations, but that doesn't exist at this point. So that will be really felt in a really pressing way by our workers and impact the communities at hand. So this kind of Soul Power project was built out of the idea that Northwest Indiana really needs a plan to ensure that a renewable energy transition that is actually fair and just and equitable for both the workers that we already have working, as well as the communities who've been impacted within this region. So next slide. Again, looking at the current impact of this legacy of contamination and how things have been within this fossil fuel industry, we are, prior to COVID-19, we know that numbers kind of were skyrocketing and going in different ways because of COVID-19. But prior to that, we were in a state where we had 53% of our residents who were struggling to meet their basic needs. So we're talking about it impacted communities, and especially those communities of color. And Michigan City is comprised of about a third of African Americans. And when you start to break down the numbers of the 53% who are struggling to meet their basic needs, of that, we have 25.5% who are actually in poverty. And then of that 25.5% is 45% who are actually African Americans, right? And then when we talk about that, a third of those African Americans live on the west side of Michigan City, and they've been there for just as long as the actual coal plant, breathing in the air, out of work, looking for these kind of jobs that we really don't have, because we know in this area, right, they only have this segmented employment type, and that is retail, manufacturing, and actually healthcare. And if you don't have the educational background, if you don't have kind of that experience, you're kind of out of this job. So we're struggling to meet our basic needs. We're living in less energy efficient housing. The NAACP was a first responder when COVID-19 first hit, and actually helping individuals to pay their energy bills. And what we saw was, like, the energy bills were probably twice as high as their rent in some cases, because people will they're either paying their rent or they're either paying their utility bill. It's one or another. And then we're also just really, when those people who are doing in a fair situation, either they're on fixed income or they're working kind of those 2 and 3 jobs to really make ends meet. And so how is that really impacting the community? And when we talk about that, a lot of the communities are then attacked with crime. Right? Because, when people don't have, they are jealous of people who do have, and that puts kind of this crime on the rate. There is more hatred that kind of grows. And then when you talk about, well, why don't the police, kind of get more involved? Well, people don't want to get involved as well, because a lot of people say they can't see anything in dim lit areas. When you talk about Black and brown communities and low income communities, a lot of them have street lights far and few in between. So when crime happens, how do they know who this person is? And those are some of the things that are, like, realistically impacting this Michigan City, but also Gary region. So I know I took a little time on that slide, but I really want you to see the impact of what's happening within our community and how it's a real detrimental play in our environment. So next slide. So the Solar Power Project will help to create more solar opportunities, so we can kind of see that decrease in the utility bills, but also create more job opportunities within the Northwest Indiana region. And one of the things that we know that's happening is that NIPSCO has a solar kind of project that they're building out in Jasper County, right, over the course of the summer. So what happens is, even when they come down the pipeline to Michigan City, a lot of people, and we've seen this over time with other companies, they come into our communities and we don't have the job applicants prepared for them to come in and say, well, here's the jobs that we have and we want to be able to have them to your community. So this Solar Power Project is going to kind of eliminate a lot of these issues. And so if you see right back there, there's that solar panel and there's the sun, because this is looking like a brighter day for Northwest Indiana. Next slide. Just talking a little bit more about what this Solar Power Project is and the approach that we're actually trying to take. I know it's kind of looking really dim right now, but it's going to be, again, as I said in the previous slide, brighter. This is a 3-pronged approach. It's not going to be just something that we're taking a one-time, one deal thing. This is a process, right? Because we know building resiliency and sustainability isn't just a one project thing, it's an overtime thing. So I want to talk to you about that 3-pronged process. Next slide. And that includes us actually educating our community, training our community, and also building in our community to make sure that we are prepared for everybody to know what's going on, how can I get involved, and how can we build this together. And so I'm super, super excited that we're taking souls and we're building solar. So next slide. going kind of deeper into the training, educating, and the building. When you're talking about educating souls, here we see the coal miner who's kind of been at this job for quite some time. And we have to always remember what this coal miner has brought to us over the time, right? So what does this look like in talking about going to this renewable energy, for this coal miner? We don't want to leave our workers out of this conversation. And how are we making sure that we're including them and educating, hey, look, this is a greater, greener, brighter society, and we want to make sure that this is an inclusive process. So we want to talk about what's happening with fossil fuel and how is that, if you see back there in the shades, that's the water. How is the fossil fuel currently impacting our water? How can we use this to come out of this to build a renewable energy into this solar and a more sustainable future for everybody? So that's the educating the souls, and we want to make sure that we're working with Solar United Neighbors, and I know that they've been working with the Sustainability Commission to help build out that process about educating, what this solar is and how that can be a really great start to this renewable energy process. So that's just one of the things. The next part in the next slide is actually training the soul. So we want to be able to offer, and this is the big, yay! We're offering free hybrid advanced solar training to individuals in Michigan City as well as Gary. We want to make sure, again, we've been the impacted community for such a long time. We want to make sure that our individuals in these areas are ready. So when they come here, we're ready and we have people in place, but also that they can go down there to Jasper County and say, hey, we've had this training, we're prepared, we've taken this course, we're certified, and we are ready to make money. We're not only offering the training, but we're offering the transportation. So there's no barriers, no boundaries, no nothing. We are really making sure that if you want a job in this renewable region and kind of transforming from this, extractive economy into this more regenerative economy, that you have these opportunities. Solar pays a start of $16 an hour. So this is like a really huge opportunity. And guess what? Again, it's free. It is free. By the NAACP, we have worked with Elevate Energy. We partner with Elevate Energy, a nonprofit organization outside of Chicago or inside of Chicago, and they have been really great. They're going to provide us with this. If you show on the next slide, I'll show you all the training benefits here. So this is training for individuals who are 18 and older. They can be returning citizens. So if you have a background, so what? We don't care. We want to make sure that you're employed. The only thing, there may be some difficulties with theft, but don't hesitate to contact us. We will work with you. We want to make sure that you can read and write at a 9th grade level. So that is a testing that we take. If you're fearful about that, so what? Contact us, because we still want to be able to help, right? Again, in building this process, we have to make sure that everybody's included. And this is for everybody who is interested in sales, design, installation, and project management within the solar installation on housing and or corporations, communities, and things like that. So the training info will be for 6 weeks. It's a 6-week course, predominantly online, but because this is solar, we want to make sure that you know what you're doing. There has to be kind of like that classroom in structure place. And we're looking to begin in March. I do have a tentative date, but there are a few things that we want to make sure are solid and in place. But it will be Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And even if we go to the classrooms, remember, we are offering transportation. The training provides NAACP certification, which is the gold star standard for solar industry, as well as OSHA 10 certification. So you'll be ready and in place. I know the solar opportunities are not just in the state of Indiana. So consider that, you know what I mean? Even just 6 weeks of being here will get you a lot of benefits, which is that last thing. Again, I can't say it. You know those commercials at night when you see and the guy's like, this is free. This is all free. So you have to kind of remember that, right? This is free. Being offered up by the NAACP, we've taken a lot of time to make sure that this is available in our community, and we're so super, super excited. There's competitive benefits, again, $16 to $25 an hour in this kind of region, but I've seen it be higher in other places. I did my research, but we also provide you with the basic tools, a couple t-shirts, and we're going to help you with resume. We also have a job fair for those students who are actually taking this. We want to make sure that the people who hire you get employed in the community projects that we're going to try to build out. So this is us taking ownership. This is exciting news. Like, yay! Next slide, Nick. So like, again, going into that third portion, we want to be able to build by building this solar and installing it on homes, installing it on community centers and churches, and installing it in street lights. There's going to be that second cohort of training that we're working on right now, and that's going to be the street light training, and because that's a different process, but we are just happy that we're kind of controlling the narrative, right, in this process. This is Michigan City, stand up. We're controlling the process. We're making sure that this is a fair, equitable, and just process. It's so super, super exciting. So this is for just this one first portion of training. We're going to make sure that we are rolling out these individuals, not only in the training, but to make sure that this training is happening in Michigan City as well as Gary. Next slide. And so the I can't express enough. The highlight is this is community grown, this is community owned, this is community souls coming together to create this. You know what I mean? And it will be resilient, and it will be here for years and centuries to come. And people will be like, golly, thank those people, right? So you see here, there's that street light. You see here, it's on community centers. Let me tell you also, and you can see more about this in, I believe it's, I have the resources at the end, but remember what happened in the state of Texas where the grid went down. Community-owned solar would prevent us from being in that state. Because when the grid goes down and we have this community-owned solar, we're not on the grid. We're on our own separate line. So this is a lifesaver. This is like the goal to make sure we're resilient, sustainable, and we're doing it at a cheaper rate than the rest we've ever seen. So I just really wanted to highlight that. Next slide. So of course, with this training, we are applying. It is at our website on the NAACP LaPorte County 3061.com under Soul Power. I've been up all night trying to get this all out. I've put my heart and soul in this. I did put this up on our website. So the link may be a little shady right now, but check it in about an hour after I get off of this. For sure, it will be together. So we are hiring for the training. You guys will talk to me if there's any questions, if you have any comments, concerns. Let's chat, because we don't want any barriers to our people getting hired at this time. So please, if you're not applying because you don't want the job, share this information, share this sustainability, conference, this commission meeting. Please share the link, anything, but we want to make sure our people are getting hired right now because there's a lot coming down the line. Next slide. And I'm just going to kind of wrap up before I tell you two more things, that in our fossil fuelery 2.0, which there is a quote from me in this newly released as of, I think it was April 2nd or April 1st, and again, being in the highlight of the fossil fuelery, but this is a quote from there. The truth is that we can create safe, permanent jobs that pay well and do not harm our people or our environments. We can do this by reversing the grip the fossil fuel industry has on the power grid and evolving towards locally owned, clean, and renewable energy systems. This is the Soul Power Project. this is why it's important to me. This is why we're bringing that here. If you look in the background of that picture, this is what we've had. This is what we've seen. This is not what we want anymore. This is a blockage to the beautiful beach that we have on our lakefront. So let's, I'm hoping that we can kind of partner together to help us evolve as a community and see a more sustainable and resilient community. Next slide. And I'm almost done, guys. Well, it didn't go over. Well, I actually, I will tell you, hopefully, if we can get it up.
There it is.
See? There it is. So here are our resources, some of the things that I quoted. The fossil fuel foolery 2.0. Again, there's a quote from me actually in that book. Our community and our power talks really about how we can kind of build more of a conversation around that and make sure that this is a fair, just, and equitable process into this retirement. And Fumes Across the Fence Line talks more about the impacts that we've seen in our local community, but also across this nation, because this isn't just a Mission City or Northwest Indiana problem. This is a United States problem. So next slide. I want to really just be able to engage not only here in conversation with you all, but also making sure that you guys are following us on our Facebook page at the NAACP LaPorte County. There was a slide in between, but that's okay, leave it right there. LaPorte County branch, and following us. It's no worries. And also being able to make sure you're staying active on our website. There is a lot of great information on there, and there will be some more things kind of coming down the pipeline. So with that, I'm hoping that was thorough, but if there is any questions, comments, concerns, or things that we may need to consider, or just hearing about, wanting to partner, or maybe how you would, or some brainstorming sessions, just let me know. I would love to hear from you guys. Merry Christmas, and thanks again for having me. And I'm opening up for questions.
Okay, Nikki, can you take that down? Because you're the one that put it up.
No, it's your screen.
It's my screen. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if anybody has any questions they would like to ask Nikki about this, because I do want to take a vote on this, and we're down to the last 6 minutes. And I want to be sure that all of our commissioners are clear on what this project is.
Nancy, I think if you hit view, oh, there it goes. Okay. Good. Are there any questions, comments, concerns? That was long-winded, wasn't it?
It was very important, Nikki. Thank you.
It was.
Yeah, Andy?
Yeah, Nancy.
Hi. No, I thank you for the presentation. I don't really have too many questions, I don't think, right now. You were really thorough and answered them. It seems like excellent job training and education, and it was pretty straightforward. And you're very entertaining. I don't think you're so long with it.
Thank you, Andy. Merry Christmas.
Okay, anybody else? Any questions? Any comments? Any concerns? Okay, so I guess the question is, does this seem like the kind of project that we as a Sustainability Commission would want to participate in? And does it match what our mission and goals are? I see heads going up and down. Okay, yeah. Okay, so if somebody would like to make a motion that we partner with the NAACP in Soul Power. Andy, would you like to state that, please?
I'll motion that we partner with the NAACP on solar power.
Okay.
I'll second.
So Tim seconded that. Thank you. Okay. All in favor? Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Anybody opposed? Okay. I know we just made Nikki one of the happiest people in Michigan City right now, but I have to say she has blessed us and blessed our souls with something that would have taken us years, if not decades, to be able to come up with. So welcome aboard. And SoulSmart officially becomes one of our project teams. And that means anybody on the commission that's interested in participating, let me know and we'll get you in contact with Nikki. Nikki, were you aware of the job fair that's happening April 15th at the Blue Chip?
Yeah, we tried to get that job fair to be a part of this project, but because we wanted to make sure that our individuals were trained, and it was kind of in that process that they weren't there yet, we didn't get a part of that. But yes, I am aware of that.
Okay, so you can't have a table there even to be able to recruit people?
Possibly, we could as the NAACP. We could.
Yeah, talk to Clarence Halls.
Okay.
He's on the Sustainability Commission, and you can let him know that we approved your,
Absolutely.
okay? Because I think
Okay.
that would be a great opportunity to reach a lot of people that are looking for jobs. Okay.
Yes.
I am going to end the agenda right here because I said if it went on too long and we just have 3 minutes left, and it's very important that we allow an opportunity for board comments. Does anybody have any comments from the board? Okay, public comments. We have somebody on here by the name of Paul. And if Paul has anything to say, I want to give him the opportunity.
Talia.
Dahlia? Go ahead.
I am a member of the public here, remember?
I know you are. I'm sorry.
So I would like to offer you another place to post all of your information. I do have a website. It does get quite a bit of traffic. So I could have a sustainability page. So everything you post on Facebook, if you would just send it to me, and the same thing for you, Tanya, like send it to me and I can post it. I can just post it so another place people can look. I'm not a big fan of Facebook, as you probably guys all know, but you can contact me many different ways. And if you just want me on the website, let me know. I'll keep everyone updated.
Great. Dahlia, thank you so very much for that generous offer. Thank you very much. Okay, anybody else? Any public comments? Pauline? Okay, that's fine. Okay, announcements. Yes, this came together yesterday. Green Drinks, May 6th, Thursday, 6:30 p.m. This is going to be via Facebook live stream and also Zoom. We are going to have the topic of environmental justice and soul power. Yay! So we're actually going to have a special guest speaker, Denise Abdul Rahman, and she is the NAACP Indiana Climate Environmental Justice Program.
Yes, Environmental Climate Justice Chair, Indiana State Conference, as well as Regional Field Organizer.
Thank you very much. I heard her present earlier this week. She's phenomenal. I have never seen such an awesome, in-depth, understandable, tug at your heart's presentation on environmental justice. So you do not want to miss this, and you want to invite all of your family and friends to be present for this also. Okay, any other announcements? Dahlia?
Got one more thing. We would really like, or I would really like, if you would have someone from your commission update the city council for like 2 or 3 minutes, maybe every other council meeting. So maybe I'll be in touch with you guys. Just give me a brief thing, like, this is what's happening. This is what's happening. Like, let people know, because, not everybody goes to the little places that you go. So I would love to have a little sustainability update every other city council meeting. I could put you on the agenda. So just
Yeah, it's on our agenda. We sent Andy this last time to talk about Earth Month. Okay, so it's on our radar screen. And thanks, Dahlia, for promoting that. Okay, it's 6:30. May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting, please? Motion to adjourn the meeting. Andy?
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Who will second that? Tim, thank you. Okay. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Any opposed? Okay. Thank you. We rock and roll this evening. Thank you. Nikki, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, Nancy. Thank you guys for having me. Merry Christmas. It was fun. Let's build soul power. Yay. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.